Okay, so I decided to do my overall topic on men's mental health, and you may be wondering why I did men's mental health instead of everybody's mental health or another individual group. But I feel like since I'm a guy, I know like I can relate to it, and it'd be easier for me to write about it. So I picked that, and I used I think it's called Google Research um, to find academic sources. Some of these, I could change, but overall, I looked at these. I read these articles. There's 8, I think, if I can count right. Some of them come from books or like papers, and they have their sources. Let me see if I can find one. Like this one, I was looking at the sources down here, and I looked at the sources from this paper, and I got more information. But what I want to start with is this one. This is from Wiley Online Library. I don't know if that's credible, but it comes from this textbook, I think. Um, and I thought this first topic or this first introduction right here was interesting. It said in most Western countries, females have higher rates of suicidal ideation and behavior than males. Yet mortality from suicide is typically lower for females than for males. And I've heard this before, and I remember reading that I think it was in this one, yeah, that women when they commit or try and commit suicide, it's not as successful, and it's usually due to the way they do it. And males, when they commit suicide, it's usually more brutal, like a gun or you know other ways. I don't really know too much yet, but um, this basically talks about this whole thing talks about the whole fatal the amount of fatal suicides for men and the comparison between men and women in different countries. So, for example, let's just go to United States. Males are significantly higher than females, and this is per 100,000. So, um, this is just a good article that shows the correlation or shows the differences between males and females. Um, and then I got this one where it shows, you know, this one talks about maybe why men's mental health is different. We got like marital, family, support, parents, religion, like everything that can contribute to what affects mental health. And when you read this, like see like socioeconomic statuses, it's pretty in depth about. So in this one, this talks about similar things like in a more easier to understand concept. So we got like sexism, trauma, work conditions, gender roles, family issues, separation, divorce, financial, substance abuse. Um, because like if you just look, men may be more likely to use drugs and alcohol, which is true. There's a lot of statistics about how men use more. So I think this is a pretty important topic to discuss. Um, since birth, men are typically taught to be strong to become leaders, and that emotions are a sign of weakness, not masculinity. And I just thought that it's very relatable, and it's really common, and it kind of contributes to toxic masculinity, in that people don't express their feelings, and it leads to bad mental health. And yeah, I just thought that was important to address. Okay, so I picked this paper not because it talks a whole lot about it, but it's more of like statistics. And I know it's not this paper's not supposed to be super uh in, informational. I don't even know if that's a word, but I know it's not supposed to be like just facts like shoved down your throat. It's supposed to like teach you about things. But I thought that maybe these would contribute to the paper. And they use a lot of statistics uh in graphs that I think would help um, assert credibility. So I'm just gonna use that. So I got this one from uh, this paper actually. It's in this the references and not that, and it basically covers what the past ones have covered, but it goes even more in depth about uh, how men would like seek help or why there's people that don't, and it talks a lot about New Zealand too. So I don't know if I would use this a whole lot, but it is interesting to look at and see the percentages. Another thing I'd like to address in my paper is how depression affects gay men and lesbians at a higher rate. I know it says lesbians, but um, you know, the way society oppresses these people affects them a lot more mentally than I think a lot of people would think. So it leads to more depression, and